You know, they say it is better probability because it's at the money. Uh, I don't consider it better probability. I take my probabilities from my indicators, not what the price is on a binary. It's just the way I see it. All right. Let's look at the scanner first because we got some interesting patterns on the scanner. Number one, you're getting a crude oil inventory magenta peak. It's 108 ticks to the ATR. Remember, the crude oil inventories will move at about 84 ticks. Okay, so that's significant to me as price may go up. On the NASDAQ 180-minute chart, you see that we have a magenta peak, 111 ticks back to the ATR. You also see that you're getting long divergence right now. So that's significant. You're also getting long divergence on the Dow and long divergence on the S&P 500. You can also see that we have a lot of congestion. We have congestion between the 720 and the 1440. On the Dow, we have congestion at the 45, the 180, and the 1440, and we're currently at the congestion dot on the 180. Then on the NASDAQ, we have congestion on the 180, 720, and the 1440. So, you know, that would be very substantial for looking at the markets this morning. All right, if we go and actually look at the Dow, and I'm going to bring over multi-charts for this. This is where I'm talking about. You're right at the congestion dot, so I'm anticipating the Dow to go up. Now, how could I trade that using an out-of-the-money binary? You have one of two ways to do it. You could go out on a daily. Since price is at 825, the ATR is currently at 979. So I know I want to be under that area. So I'm going to do, and I'll bring this over for y'all to see. We have 930 and 910. 910 is a premium of 24. Now that tells me price would positively have to get there for me to take a profit target set at right at $50. We could also do 930 for a risk of 1825. That's the one I'm going to do. And as soon as I place that order, I'm also going to place a profit target on that. And the profit target, since we had a risk of $18.25, that's basically $36. So I'm going to do a profit target of 40. Now, that tells me it does not have to get there, okay? It just has to get close to this number, and I would achieve my profit target. Does everybody understand that? Okay, what part do you not understand, viewer 68? Well, my risk is $18.25 per contract. Okay, that's what my risk is. So if I do 18.25 times 2, gives me a profit target of 36.5. Commission is about $1.80, more or less, per contract, up to 10 contracts. So basically, I need a profit target greater than 38.3. I set it at 40, so I should be good. All right, now let's go look at the DAX this morning. I'm going to, oh, well, let me do one other one on the Wall Street. We could do 8 to 10 a.m. 8 to 10 a.m. We are currently trading at 828. And Give me just a minute. I'm going to go back and look at what the Dow normally moves between 9 and 10. It normally moves, actually we're in quarter two, so you're talking about 62 points on the Dow. And we're currently trading at 826. So if we add 50 to that, basically 875, and that would be this one. It's a little bit greater than the 50, but I'm going to go ahead and choose that one because it's a lower risk. And that one expires at 10 o'clock this morning. Now again, I'm going to put a profit target in. 14 and 14 is 28. Oops, sorry, supposed to be looking over here. We're just going to round that to 20. So I'm going to put a profit target here of 40. Let's do 42 so we can cover the cost of the trade. And that order is placed. Okay, so we basically have to, and I'll draw the lines on here, and either they will make money or they will not make money. I'm not going to manage in any other way. Okay, let's see. We have 7881. Which is just about here. And we have 7930. Which is here. Okay? Any questions on the Dow? Well, we don't know if they're going to be great until afterwards. Well, you're 1 point off, Christian. Don't worry about it. All right, let's go over to the DAX because I think the DAX may move today. Let's see what's available on the DAX. And for that one, I'm going to have to minimize this and go over here. Now, right now, they're going to test for sellers because you just had major divergence on the DAX right there at an area that is resisting price. Do y'all see that? So on the DAX, I would wait and let this make a low so I can tell that there's no sellers in that market before I actually went in. Do y'all see that? All right. I also told you I was going to tell you how to download the market reports, and if I can find it, I'm going to show it to you. Okay, at 10 o'clock we have existing home sales, and then at 10:30 we have crude oil inventories. I do not trade existing home sales. I love crude oil inventories. Okay? To download the market volatility report, if you go to blog.tradershelpdesk.com, click on Market Volatility Report Now Available. Put your name and email address and then download now. You'll have to confirm your email address, and when you do, it sends out the market report. Okay? And it is a 40-page market report. Close tabs. I'm going to show the one that's in actual Word. It does tell you hour by hour what the market what the market moves, but in addition to that, we identify the how much factor. And today is crude oil inventories, which is right here. The DAX is 139 ticks. Remember, all of these are ticks or pips, whichever one. Forex moves in pips. The rest of the futures moves in ticks. So crude is expected to move 84 ticks. The DAX is expected to move 139 ticks. Okay? I don't know how many of you thought about trading the DAX for crude oil inventories, but they do work pretty well. And all you have to do is go and download that. And then you'll have all of the market report data that I use. Now, you'll notice that some of the market reports are not included. And that's okay. Because, I didn't see a consistent pattern. Okay, yes, I can definitively say this moves X amount of ticks. Some of them are just, one time it moves 5 ticks, the next time it moves 50. There's not a good average on those. So I didn't put them in the report. It tells you on average how much it moves on a market report. And that's a 15-minute bar that it moves. One 15-minute bar immediately after the market report. So if the market report is at 10:30, it's the market movement between 10:30 and 10:45. All right, let's see what we can do on crude today. Okay. Now, I realize that some people don't like using indicators, and that's personal preference. I don't really care whether you do or not. I'm going to bring up just a plain crude chart. Well, if I can move it over here. Okay. So basically, right now, we're trading right around 56.40. Okay. We know that it has the potential to move 84 cents up. So this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 57, 20. And then it's got the potential to move 80 ticks down. So that's 50. That would be $1. It's probably right around there. Okay, that's 40. Oh, almost go. There we go. So it could move up here or it could move down here. Right? Everybody with me so far? Maybe. All right. So we're just going to straddle this and see if we can get any good prices on crude. And we're going to go out to daily because I don't want to wait. And all right. So we need somewhere around 57.20. Well, that's $35. I'm not risking $35. So I'll go ahead and go to 57.50 and I'll tell you why. Let me place the order first. Let's see if we get filled on it. Yep, we got filled. Average price was $20. Again, I'm just going to put in a profit target of 42. Now, I can do that because remember, it doesn't have to get all the way there. Do y'all understand that? It's an important concept. Okay, I didn't go to 50, so I don't have to get all the way here. Okay? And I'm going to mark that line. It's about here. We're going to put it in green and lime green. And bring it down because it should be exactly right there. All right. Now, on the downside, we have 5560. Okay? 5560. Let's look and see what we have on 5560. Well, we can get this one for about the same, and I do like it to be about the same because one covers the other one. Now, you do have the potential, and on this one, I'm going to put the order in at 60. Okay? Now, if crude does not move at all, we do have the potential to lose on both sides. Okay? That's your potential. I think it will move. So, I mean, crude oil inventories pretty much always moves. What were we at? 55.50. It's about there. Maybe a little bit more. And we're going to make this one crimson, and we'll do a solid line. And this one we're going to do a solid line. And I'm pretty much set. Well, I think it could go either direction. Whatever they say, that's the way it's going to go. All right. Everybody wants to know what the orders are. There's the orders. Profit targets are under working orders. Well, your risk is what you pay. Okay. For example, the long is $20, so that's $200 I could potentially lose. $20 I could potentially lose. $20 I could potentially lose. I average it out. Most of them are $20. Okay. So I've got 4 positions, $20 on each position comes out to $2, $4, $6, $800 potential loss. And I guess I better show to the disclaimer because I do not give out trading advice. Okay, I'm teaching you how to do something. Okay, and if you decide to trade, you're doing so at your own risk. And do not blame me if you lose money. I don't know your risk parameters. I know mine. Does everybody understand that? It takes money to make money. That's the way I feel about it. If you're not willing to risk money, then you're not willing to make money. Well, they can't run stops on binaries. You don't have a stop on binary. So, does it happen often? Micah, don't answer questions like that because often is very subjective. Well, they've been running stops since Wyckoff's day. It is what it is. Okay. I look at premium, Mike. I don't really look at an optimal time. Okay, I'm gonna status off my microphone because I'm gonna eat breakfast. 10 a.m. strike price. 17,881. And damn, my mama was real sweet, and she went and got me breakfast. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. All right, I'm going to show the trades one more time so you can know where your profit targets and all are. On the 17881, you're about $5 away from taking your profit target. Okay. Crude oil inventories were out for the remainder of the day. We have both a long and a short position. On the Dow, we have two short positions. One that ends at the 4:15 today, at the end of the trading day. We have one that ends at 10 o'clock this morning. Okay. Now, I want to go over the other markets. All I have to do is find the charts. Surprise, surprise. All right, that's the Dow. We already have one on the Dow. Oh, I never drink milk. That's not a problem. Let's go look at gold real quick. Okay. So here you're seeing, the daily's just not doing much at all. Okay. Then you come over here to the 180. You see it's trying to retrace back to the ATR here. This is in congestion. All the lower time frames are to the short side. The only thing is, on the short side, you're only going to go down about another 4 points as it stands right now. Not interested in gold today. We got filled on the profit target on the Dow. We just got taken out of it, so we've already made money and the market hasn't opened. Yeah, it did for me too. So, not bad. All right, on the crude, you can see that we did get a magenta peak here on the 180. This is significant to me, especially being at an ATR on the 720-minute chart. That's the reason that I think that crude's going to go up. Okay? And if it does, then we make money. Okay? Because we're setting right at that ATR, which is at 57.43. Okay? Everybody understand crude? I mean, this is, you've got a magenta peak, but do you see how you've got that divergence? Now, that divergence is intraday. It could change today at some point, but as it stands right now, there are no sellers in crude. People are buying, so I just went with the flow there. All right, let's go look at the NASDAQ. Which one's going to have more power, a 45-minute or a magenta peak from a 180, Christian? It may go back down and test the ATR, but I bet the 180's got more power. Okay? All right. It's reaching up for the congestion dot on the 1440. Okay? You're at an ATR over here. You're at a congestion dot over here. Okay? Now, all of, the 3 and the 12 are staying up. You've got a ATR right up above you here. You also have an ATR right up above you here and here. I'm staying away from that one today. All right. Here, you've got a congestion dot that's way up here at 18,230. Okay. Down here, you were coming back to this congestion dot, divergence here. Okay. I'm expecting it to go up to this ATR. Over here on the 180, we're at a congestion dot. You had divergence here. It's going up to the ATR. Okay. Could you have some resistance at 907? Well, sure you could. Okay. They're going to have to break through that, and hopefully they'll break through it strong enough that it continues up. We'll have to wait and see. Any questions on the Dow? Do you see the difference between the Dow and the NASDAQ, which was sitting right at resistance? Does everybody see that? Yes or no? All right, let's go look at the S&P 500, which is they're correlated until they're not. I mean, yesterday we saw the down movement on the Dow, but we didn't see it on the NASDAQ, but we did see it overnight. So, they're correlated until they're not correlated. Let's see. We have a congestion dot at 2121 on the S&P 500. We are retracing right now back to this ATR on the 180. It's also confirmed over here on the 720. It's going to have to break this ATR in order to go up. Once it does break that ATR, normally it will come back down and test it, and then it will take off. Because anytime you have a resistance area that is broken, they will come back to test to make sure that that area will support it. You can see here they did not support it. So what happens? It goes back down. Now they're coming back to see, okay, did we form an area of resistance? If the answer is no, then it will go up. Okay? And what we're doing, and it's, a lot of people think that the markets are correlated. They trade based on that correlation. I don't do that, and yesterday was a good example. We did not take a trade on the NASDAQ, okay, because it didn't have a good picture on it. So we didn't take a trade on the NASDAQ. We did take a trade on the Dow, and it worked out fine. It worked out great. But that same trade would not have worked out over on the NASDAQ. Do y'all understand that? You don't really know if they're running stops until after the fact. So I don't really pay attention to that. If If you're stopped out, you're stopped out. That's sort of the price of trading futures. It's a business cost. I'm almost there on the daily. I'm $1 away. Big $10 covers the cost of the trade, though. My target is filled. Okay, made money on both the Dow trades. Any questions on that? You receive it through email, viewer87. I'll go back and show it. If you go to the home page of the blog and go to Market Volatility Report and click Download the Market Volatility Report, put your name, your email address, download now. It sends you the link automatically. Now I know the profit targets on those was 40 and 42, so the total payout was $800, and the market has not opened yet. Yep. But you have to know how to read the charts to do that. Okay? If you didn't know how to read the charts, you wouldn't know how to do that. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't buy anything else, you buy the trend ATR and the congestion zones. And then after you make some money, you go back and buy the volume indicator. That's all I can tell you. Because they're pretty damn amazing. We entered those trades at what time, guys? Mm, 8:31. And within 30 minutes, we were filled. Not bad. I don't know of any bank that would pay me that kind of interest rate, so I might as well keep trading. But it's boring, you know. It's you don't have all that adrenaline going. You don't have to worry about a lot of the other stuff. Like, for example, if you were 68, if they're going to run my stop, I don't have to worry about that. That's the reason I trade more binaries than I trade anything now. Most of the time, I put my binaries on and go do what I need to do. And even if I lose on both crude positions, guess what? I still made $400 and didn't even really have to use my brain. Yeah, I don't need adrenaline. So now the only thing we have to watch, because we've already made money, the only thing we have to watch is this one. And that market report doesn't come out for another hour and 20 minutes. What do you mean, who does the market report? It's crude oil inventory report coming out. If you go to Forex Factory, click on crude oil inventories, it tells you the source for the market report. You can see it's Energy Information Administration, tells you all about the report, the effect, when it's released, all that good information. Thank you, Mike. It might have some typos in there. It wouldn't surprise me none. I was just about blind after doing all those charts. It's a lot of great information in there. It really is. It's in the report, viewer 68. It's 40 pages of mainly charts and tables. It's identifying average market movement, average daily movement per year, per quarter, per hour. Which hours are the most volatile? Is the U.S. market opening at 9:30 always the most volatile? How much does the price bar actually move on average in a 60-minute period? Um, which month is the slowest period? When does the slow period begin? When does the pace actually pick up? Average market reports for all major reports that I track. Identifying the how much factor on U.S. market reports, Aussie U.S. dollar reports, Euro U.S. dollar reports, British pound U.S. dollar reports, USD Canadian reports, USD JPY reports, using the average market movement for reports, trading out of the money binaries using the anticipated market movements, understanding the strike price with and out of the money binary options, and then, of course, about me. Yeah, I'm a looker at charts. I, that's the reason I did it. I can't trade without these charts. Okay. I mean, something as simple as what we just did on the Dow. You go and you say, okay, you know, there's so much that you can do with this report. It's amazing. For example, and we just did it on the Dow. Okay. These wrong ones, wrong one. Nope. Go back. There we go. Okay, on Dow, we're in April from 9 to 10, which is really this one here. We would anticipate a 70, really a 75-point move. I knew I was in the money on that. Okay. That's how simple it can be. Going, 100 points out would have been reasonable because I was on a 2-hour binary. Okay. So if you add the 9 o'clock bar and the 10 a.m. bar for April, you can see that in general, and I'm going to highlight this because to me, this is like something everybody should have, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay, so we're in April. Okay, we need the 9 a.m. bar and the 10 a.m. bar, which are these two right here. Okay, this is a 2-hour binary. Could I go 100 points out? Yeah, because it moves on average, it moves 100 points in April. See how easy that was? All you have to do is print them out. If you wanted to go to gold, okay, how far out of the money could I go on gold? Okay, 10 ticks equals 1 point. Notice that. Okay, and then in April, in general, it moves about 11 points. Oh, for a 2-hour binary, you do. And then just make sure you come in under that number. So that's, 100 ticks on gold on average. That's a lot of money, guys. Pretty simplistic. I like simple stuff. Tell you about what? The average movement or my market report? As far as I know, I'm the only one that's done that type of research. Well, they didn't know about it until this morning. I sent it to Chip. I don't know if he'll send it out or not. You'll have to ask Nadex about that. He's the guy I work with at Nadex to do articles on Nadex. Actually, Dave, the only one that was really hard was the market reports. But I've got everything in a database now, so I can manipulate it just about any damn way I want. It's pretty simplistic. Setting it up was hard, but after that, it gets easier for me. I used to design databases for a living. The link for the market report, if you go to the blog, it's the first thing that you see on the blog. It's the market report. Type in your name, your email address, download now. You'll have to verify your email address, so if you put in a fictitious email address, you won't get the report. Um, Otherwise, if you validate your email address, once you do that, it automatically sends you the market report. If you want to get other emails, you will have to subscribe to the mailing list. I created that just for this market report, literally. How do you measure that, viewer 68? Wouldn't that be subjective to my opinion? I don't like to be subject to my opinion. I like to be factual. I'm a very logical person. I know the averages are quite accurate because I did them in their mathematical computations. So. And they're actually pretty long-term averages, so they're pretty good. Well, I've been trading it for the last few weeks, so I guess pretty accurate. Each row would be that hour only. And Mike, you have to remember, let's say that you have, like on the Dow, you have 100 points that is going to move in the next 2 hours because, the 9 a.m. bar is 50 ticks, the 10 a.m. bar is 50 ticks. It could be 50 ticks up and 50 ticks down, okay? There is that potential. I'm not telling you the market direction. I'm telling you the average of a 60-minute bar. When you start, and this is one of my pet peeves, when you start saying, okay, it moved up 60 ticks, it moved down 60 ticks, that's subjective in a lot of ways. I don't do it. You have to determine whether this bar is moving up or whether this bar is moving down. I'm not going to do that for you. The indicators do it, but I ain't doing it. The first report that I did like this was actually back in 2010. It was a 4-series article that was published in Stocks and Commodities. This is kind of a follow-up to that because we're seeing that market volatility come back in. Which is cool. I added the market reports because that information, if you're trading binary options out of the money, man, that's where the money is. In my opinion, though. But it also teaches you, I like consistency in my trading, and as a trader, I know during the summer it moves slower. So how can we modify the profit targets or the stops or the binary options during the summer? Okay? No, it's per 60-minute bar, Dan. You see it right here, okay, on crude. It moved down, and then it moved straight back up. I'm not telling you the direction. I'm telling you the range of the bar. As a trader, you're presuming that maybe it was moving up and both bars moved up. I'm not saying that. That's not what the report says. The report says the range of the 60-minute bar. Do you understand the difference, Dan? Right. The direction comes from the indicators or whatever process that you use. But here's a great example, okay? Let's say that you're trading gold in November, okay? Excuse me. And let's look at the 10 o'clock green line here. And we're doing it in December, and we're averaging, $6.85, okay? Or 6 points, 7 points if you average it out. Could we use that same method in August? No, because August it only moves half the amount. Do y'all see that? Oop, I didn't do that very well. Let's delete it and do it again. Okay, so in this one, I could go real far out of the money, but in August, not so much. Do y'all see that? You see January on the Dow, 87 points. But if you're going to be trading it in August, you better lower that. Okay? It's simplistic to me. It just tells me how far can I go. Because, when I started trading in binary options, how far could I go? It's a logical question. And you have to have a lot of experience to know how far you can go. And that's the key to trading binary options. How far out of the money can I go? Well, I answered it. I answered it for myself. I'm just making it available to y'all so that y'all can utilize it as well as I do. I've done a standard deviation, but most of the standard deviations comes up to between 2 to 5 points on the Dow. You can go either side of that. But with the binaries, it's just like I showed you on the Dow this morning. It doesn't have to get there because I'm not at the 50-50 mark. It doesn't need to get there. It just has to get to the 40 mark. Yeah, but the average true range, this is the difference. You can't do this with the average true range, okay? Because I'm measuring 3-minute bar to 3-minute bar. Average true range is going to measure it over the last 5 bars. So average true range is using these 5 bars, and then you get a market open and it totally throws it off, which would be this one. The only way you could program average true range to do it is to say, okay, the 3 o'clock hour has to be compared to the last 5 3 o'clock hour bars. And I haven't seen that done. And then you have to allocate for daylight savings time. So it would be pretty complicated to program an indicator like that. I hadn't thought about that, Mike. Can you talk a little about the 50/50 mark? I haven't changed philosophy. It just depends on what price is doing and whether I'm sitting at my computer or not. And these are really far out strike prices, Dan. Okay? So if it gets there, okay, then you are at the 50/50 range. But I mean, most of my trades I'm doing at $20. So if I'm looking at it and saying, okay, it may not get there, but do I have a chance of being in the money on profit? The answer would be yes. No, it doesn't have to get there to double. You need it at 40, which is one strike price out generally. Sometimes it can be two strike prices out. Depends on how close the strike prices are. Just pull up Nadex and watch it. It's the easiest way to learn that one. It also has time decay factor. For example, this morning on the daily, we were real far out, so we achieved our profit target very quickly. Now, if we had done that and it was 3 o'clock this afternoon, we wouldn't have gotten it probably until it got right there. So it just depends on how far out in price you are. In the time decay factor. Yeah, you're trading time and volatility. NASDAQ didn't have the trade on it. On the NASDAQ, you're at the ATR. You're at the ATR already. Why would you even think about taking that damn trade? At an ATR, at an ATR, at an ATR. Why would you think about taking that trade? The Dow, we had room to move. The Dow, we were down here. We had room for it to move up. Okay? That's the difference. There was nothing in the way here. You see that? In the way. In the way. In the way. I don't want that damn trade. Why am I trading into an area of resistance? Does that make sense? The trades that we have taken this week, the trades that we have taken this week, okay, are the ones that are like on the Dow. I'm not yelling or cussing. Okay, we entered as it's going up. There's nothing in the way. Look, nothing. It has to get all the way to here. It has to get all the way to here. Has to get all the way to here. And we did this back here. Okay? Nothing in the way. Nothing in the way. Nothing in the way. Oh, those are good trades. Now, here, don't say that. Just as soon as you go to enter that trade, it's going to stop and it's going to reverse. Those are not the ones that I want. Understand? This is going to stop price, at least for a bounce down. It's going to stop price. Going to stop price. That if it's going to stop price and I'm trying to go long, that equates to, oh shit, I'm going to have a losing trade. Don't want to do that. Dan, you're funny. Understand now? And look at what's happening. It's stopping price at the moment. Do you see that? And then you're saying, shit, now I'm going to have a losing trade. Okay? Well, the ATR was screaming at you. Why didn't you listen? When I see that, I ain't doing that. These are what I call sweet spots. Okay? When you don't have anything in the way of a trade, it's a sweet spot. We can trade it. We can have some fun, Dan. But when we got stuff in the way, it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. And I don't like pain, guys. I do not like pain. Sometimes I have to suffer through it, okay? But I don't like it. Everybody understand now? Yeah, it gives me a lot of gray hair. On crude, do you see how you've got that congestion area at 56.70? That may cause them to retrace. But crude, I'm not trading the indicators. I'm trading what? Just a market report. Okay? I bet gold comes down to here today. See how you got that sweet spot here? I'm not doing another trade because I'm traded out today. There's your sweet spot in between there. And usually it will move in that area and it'll do it real quickly, which is what I like. Down and dirty. Well, I've learned trading can be simple. We tend to make it complex. Also, on the market report volatility, you'll notice I didn't do anything on the USD Swiss franc as a separate report, and that's because there's only two things that will move the Swiss franc. One is, I believe it's called the Libor rate, LIBOR, and then we also have the Swiss National Bank rate announcement. Because of what they did, I believe it was in January, it skewed that report so bad I didn't include it. I mean, that was a historical report that's never been done before. It moved like 3,000 pips, bankrupted a couple of people, a couple of companies. So, do I look at moon phases? No. Which Kindle book, Mike? On binaries? Thank you, Dan Leiber. Okay. Yeah, that was an effort to do that one. I've been working on it. What, guys? About six weeks on that one. The hardest was the market report. So FXCM almost went under. They got a loan at the last minute, literally. Yeah, Alpari did. I wished. On the average, I could do that in about an hour. It was the actually the market report portion that took so long. I had to go bar by bar. Oh, they could type it back into Excel, but the thing of it is, I can update mine every month. They can't because they don't know what I did to do it. Some of the reports, and this is what was shocking to me, some of the reports show you that you're better off trading Forex and not the indices because that's where the major market movement is. Or maybe you should be trading gold and not the indices. The other surprising thing is most people trade the euro rate announcement, and they should be trading the press conference, which is also surprising. Forget about the rate announcement, trade the press conference. Yeah, it's some interesting stuff that you can actually deduce from these reports, Dan. So yeah, there's some of them that have more market action when they're released with another report. This is the only binary trading room I have right now, and it's free. We're thinking about doing a couple of binary rooms that will be paid for. This one's free. I've already placed my trades for the day, so it doesn't matter. And I've probably already hit my profit target, so here's what it is. No, I only do the room Tuesday and Thursday. And there's 1 week of May that I won't do it at all because my son's graduating and I'm going to his graduation from the Army. Yeah, May 18th through the 22nd, the room will be closed. Unless I can get somebody else to do it. Yeah, I could see some of that within the market report that you're talking about, Dave. It's really too early to talk about them because we're just in the phase of thinking about doing them. I'm not doing it myself because I don't have time. But it's a couple of traders that I've trained that would be willing to do it. Yeah, that magenta peak came in, Dave. Remember yesterday I told you I was expecting a magenta peak over on the NASDAQ? It came in. And that bar right there was the key bar because I guarantee you there was volume divergence on it. And Dan, you're talking about, taking them profits on the binaries. Do you see the divergence on that? They put everything they had into that bar and that went nowhere. That's why it's going down right now. But see, I'm already out of it. That is on the Dow. Um, so now I could have been greedy and tried to wait, but instead I just took profits. There's your difference. Let me put the volume on here. So I know how to drag it. Mm-hmm. See how that might have higher high? Higher high? Oop, didn't mean to do that, but it is what it is. Do you see how you were shrinking in the volume there? Why is it going straight? Darn it. Let me see if I can make it bigger, if it will do it. So from here, actually, God darn it. From here to here, on this one right here, I can't draw for some reason today. Do you see how you had that divergence there? Because you were making new highs between this bar and this bar. But there was absolutely no buying coming in. Now, this is one that a lot of people say, well, you can't use that because it's not the same. Because this was London and this was the U.S. Well, guess what? It worked, didn't it? It typically does. Let's see. What did I want to do? If you notice, this bar was at 9:45. That was the opening bar yesterday. This bar was at 3:45, which was the opening of London. Now, there's a lot of people that will tell you you can't measure the volume because you're comparing the U.S. to London. But now you tell me, did that divergence work? Because it looks like it worked to me, which is why I don't agree with that theory. Do y'all see that? Can y'all hear me? Yep, you can hear me. Yeah, the 50-50 area, price has to get there, okay? Now, if you're in a trend, Dan, and you know it's going to get there, okay, push it. But we're not in a trend today, not to the upside anyway. Why? Because you have an ATR above you, so it may not get to the 50-50 area. Do you understand that, Dan? It's much easier to get to the $50 area, Dan, if you're in a trend. 12-minute crude. Let me see if I can bring it up. What time was it yesterday, Dave? Yeah, I'm in a straddle on crude for the market report. That's today. Is that noonish your time or my time, Dave? I think you're talking about here. 54.40. Yeah. Yeah, you were building up all the way to here. And then this is what gave you divergence. Said they were going to come and test for buyers. They came back and tested for buyers, and there was no buyers in the market. They did it again here. Okay. And so far, there just hasn't been anything on this one. But what I'm noticing is you've got decreasing volume on the lows right now. But we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, yeah. That's the first thing I noticed today is we had that magenta peak. I keep losing my freaking little box here. Put that one up. Oh, the 720 is like my best friend right now on crude. And if he doesn't hold crude up, then I'm going to divorce him. uh, that's about right. Crude. He better not be rude to me this morning, but he could be. I got him either way. He just don't know it. Yeah, as long as it moves, I got him anyway. You got 5704 at 21, 5724 at 13, and then on the downside, you got 5584, 5564. I'm not entering those because I've done all the trades I'm going to do right now. But you could still do those. Yep. I would be interested if it forms divergence on that double zone. You see how sweet that is, Christian? Did you see why I call it a sweet spot now? Because it just goes bloop, bloop, all the way down. All right, I'm going to go take a break right quick before crude oil inventories comes out, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. We're still waiting on it. Normally I load 15. Sometimes I load more. Mainly if you're not seeing any lines, load more, Mika. Um, Let me check to see. I've got 15 days on the Dow. Christian, when have you ever heard me use that word? Mika, you're funny. She might not move at all today. Just gonna have to wait and see, aren't we? I told you this was boring trading. No adrenaline rushes, none of that good stuff. That's right, Mika. uh, it is definitely our prerogative. Move any old damn way we want. Yeah, it's part of the mystery of a woman. Just let us do what we want. Nah. To me, the optimal time is when I can get a cheap trade. Thanks, Mika. Well, I guess I'll tell y'all a funny story while we're waiting on the crude oil inventories. Um, I've been redoing my mom's bathroom, and we put in, it's called a neo angle shower to give her more space since she's older. And I thought it just took like the curved curtain rod, and come to find out it takes a special neo angle curtain rod. And she has a shower curtain that she wants to use. And this is a new shower curtain that she bought like 3 years ago that she wants to use. But because it's a neo angle shower, it requires two curtains. She refuses to buy two curtains because she would have to give up this one shower curtain. Now, this is the difference between me and my mother. I would just go and buy two new shower curtains. But my mother is married to this shower curtain. And she is adamant, and I do mean adamant, on using this one shower curtain. So we're going to have to modify the shower curtain, which means cutting it and sewing it to work on her shower, because she is married to the shower curtain. And there's nothing special about it, except that she loves it. That's right. Needless to say, my mother would not make a good trader. She's not very flexible. My stepfather used to say there was the Navy way and her way, and you damn well better do it her way. She's very adamant on what she wants. And we don't even bring the shower curtain up now. Just whatever you want, Mom. That's what we'll do. Nope, don't even talk about it. I've tried to talk to her. My sister's tried to talk to her. Mm-mm. There is no talking to her. This is the way it is. She's going to use the shower curtain come hell or high water. I say, okay, Mom, go for it. You're killing gold this morning, Stuart. I hope you're doing binaries. Yeah, that's pretty much what I tell her. Oh, yeah, there was a nice sweet spot on gold. It was between here. Beautiful sweet spot. And now you don't have anything else right now. Nothing in the way of a good trade. Tick tock, tick tock. It's still early, but I'm watching this pattern. Mike, I just saw your question. Now that you've helped us master the event, how long do you think it takes for our regular trading patterns to again come into play after the report? How much time cushion do we give after? It depends on the market report, really. Um, Dave, was there any entry on gold this morning? Oh, let me go back. It wasn't on the 45, but let's go back. Come on, markets. On the 45 minute, if you were on multi-charts, you had a perfect entry. Right there. The only thing that I can see that was in the way was that ATR. And now you're coming up to this congestion dot. And, you had divergence right there. I would have anticipated it to come back to that congestion dot. Now the problem is you've got an ATR right there at 1188. Dave, it looks like it might break it though. And Mike, the reason I say that on market reports, like crude oil inventories, is typically not an emotional market report. It's, supply and demand. Either we have more crude than we need or we have less crude. Okay, it's very standard. Um, Something like the Fed announcement, that's emotional. So on a Fed announcement, you could pop up and pop right back down because it's emotional. Understand? Yeah, they came in at 5.3. They expected 5.7. You're out until 2:30, correct, Stuart? You too, Troy. Stuart, are you out until 2:30? Your crude expiration, is it at 2:30? Why'd you do that? Well, I'm holding mine, so. Well, at one time it was worth 32. If you were going to sell, that was the time to sell your long position. Was when it was at 32 and you made $12 a contract. I'm holding mine. So it's either going to be right or it's going to be wrong. You don't need to overanalyze these. That's your issue, guys. Why are you overanalyzing it? You've already limited your risk. That's right. Trade the damn plan. That is exactly right, David. Go eat lunch, go shopping, go to bed, do anything, but leave your damn computer alone. You prevent yourself from making money. And if you don't learn that, then you can't make money. We all do it. I work on other articles. I do other work to take my mind off of the trade. I mean, I already know what it should do. So why am I going to come in and second guess my decision? It is what it is. It's either going to make money or lose money. I guarantee that. That's about the only thing I can guarantee about that price bar. Oh, yeah, you can. That's for sure. I told you this was boring. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Now, I ain't jumping under a plane. I don't jump out of nothing. That I can honestly say. Oh, I didn't realize it was 11 o'clock. All right, I guess I'll keep up with these and I'll show the results this afternoon on the blog. Oh, okay. Yeah, it would be thrilling because it would give me a heart attack. I'll post the results on the blog. Either way, we made money this morning. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I'll do the video when I post the results. It has to render and all that good stuff. So, all right. All right, now we don't have a trading room tomorrow, guys. Okay? We won't have another one until next Tuesday, same time, same place. You're welcome, Mike. Everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place.